Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. So in this video we are going to solve Codeforces the second problem. So this is a Codeforces problem solving playlist. So if you are joining us for the first time, so make sure to check out the previous video. So we are already solved this watermelon problem here. So our very first problem, so the links are in the description and the cards above. So for those who have been following along, so you are building a habit that will be genuinely make you a better programmer. So today we are solving Codeforces way too long words. So this problem introduces us to something incredibly important in competitive programming and string manipulation. So we'll learn how to read strings and check their length and access individual characters. So it's still beginner friendly, but a big step up from the previous problem, that watermelon problem. So now let us go on to it. So let us see the problem content here. So for that I'll choose this problem that is way too long words. So it will open. So this is the problem statement. As you can see here, this is the in this statement they have given sometimes some words like localization or internationalization or some so long that is writing them many times in one text is quite as. So for this this is a long word and this is also a more long word. So in this they have given, let's consider a word too long. So if it is length is strictly more than 10 characters. So all too long words should be replaced with the special abbreviation. They have given a special abbreviation. So we have to convert the word into that abbreviation if this word is strictly more than 10 characters. That means it is greater than 10 characters. If it is 10 characters, we can still remain the same character. That means the same thing we can print it. So after that, so they have given the abbreviation form. So the abbreviation is made like we write down the first character and the last character of the word, and in between them we have to write the number of letters with the first and last letters. Like this, they have given that this is the word localization. So within it, it is greater than 10 characters. If we count it, we will get 12 characters. So for that, L is the first character of here and N is the last character of here. So the total size is 12. So we have to calculate the in-between size that is given within the string. So the in-between length of the string is 10 because there are total characters. If we remove first and last character, that is the size of 2. So that time we will get 10 as the in-between value characters. So for the internationalization, it will be spelled as I18N. That means there are 20 characters here. Then if we remove the first I and the last N, so that time there would be 18 characters in between this I and N. So I18N is nothing but internationalization. So the way too long words that is strictly more than 10 characters can be converted into this format. So if it is not that, we will simply print the same word. So they have given the input format, that is the first line contains the integer n. So the n means if they have given 4 here, they will give 4 strings. We have to print 4 times. That means this is called as test cases, and this n can be said as number of test cases. So this is the number of test cases. So each word following n lines contains each word. That means one word. So all the words consist of, they have said it is lowercase Latin letters and it can be in the range of 1 to 100 characters. So we are going to write a code for that. So we are first see the basic logic of it. So let me open a notepad. So in this, so I have opened the notepad. So as you can see here, the first logic is if my character size, that means the string length, my string length is strictly greater than 10. Okay, this is the condition. So that time what we have to do is we have to first add the first character. So string of first character plus the in between size. So the string length. So we have to subtract the first character and the last character. So it should be always greater than, it should be always be 2, because first is one character, last is one character, so it is 2. So we have to add it, the string dot length with the minus 2 characters. Okay, because we are going to remove first and last character. So for that it is string dot length minus 2. After the minus 2 length, we have to add the last character. So the string of the last character. So if my string length is greater than 10, I am going to add the first character and the length which is reduced by 2, because we are removing this first and last character. So that's why I am reducing the size of it. So after that, this last character. So if it is not greater than 10, I can say that it could be less than. So we don't need to check that. For that, we will directly use else case. So we will simply print the same string. So I am using C++ here. So if you are familiar with any programming language, you can do that. So I am familiar with this C++, so I am going to do that. So the first condition, let us see the first condition again. So if a word has, that means the string word has the length that is more than 10 characters, that time we have to abbreviate it. So that time we have to abbreviate it. So the abbreviation is this. So if it is not greater than 10, we will simply print as it is. So the abbreviation format is, let me write it. So that abbreviation format is first letter plus the number of letters in between, after that the last letter. So this is the condition, that first letter and last letter in between, the number of letters in between it. So this is the condition. So I have written in the pseudocode format that the first character and the last character and the size of length is minus 2. So for example, so let me remove this code. So let me see the one example, localization. So here there are 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 and 12 characters. So I can say the length is 12. So it is 12 is strictly greater than 2 or not. So it is true. So once it's true, we have to go to the else case. So if it is greater than 2, we have to abbreviate it. So for the abbreviation, first letter, that is L, after the first letter, this character, that is this length, in between length. So after that, the last character. So we have to print in between characters that is present in the string. So for that we have to calculate it. So we know the total length. So we just need to remove the first and last character, that could be the size of 2. So if we remove 12 minus 2, so that time, so we have to find the in between letters. So for the in between letters, the length minus 2. So that time 12 minus 2 will return 10. So L 10 N. So this is the abbreviation for the localization. So let us see for the internationalization. So for that, let me remove this. So here the size is 20. So the total number of characters are 20. So after that, as we know, 20 is strictly greater than 10. So it is true. So for that we have to abbreviate it. So the first letter. So after that 20 minus 2. The size minus 2 for the abbreviation. So after that the last letter, that is N. So here 20 minus 2 will become 18. So the internationalization abbreviation is I18N. So for the string, if you want to find the length, there is a one inbuilt function is there. The string, that means the variable that you are storing, dot length. This is one method, or else you can use the string name dot size. It also works. Both will be same. So if you want dot length, you can use it. If you want dot size, you can use it. So for finding the length of the string, you can use these two methods. So after that, if you want to access a string, the string is also index based, just like the array. So the string, if I want to access the first character, I can use string of 0, because 0 is it is 0 indexing. That means the string and array are 0 indexing. The first character will be always starts from 0. So if I want the last, if it is 0 indexing, the last character is the length of the string minus 1. For example, let us take localization. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12. So let me give some space. So here it is the size, that is 12. So let us give 0 indexing 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 and 11. So this is how it will be internally looks. That means this is 0 and this is n minus 1. So the length n is nothing but the length of it. So if I get the length, it should be 12. So the 12 minus 1 is 11. So see here, the index is 11. So the index, that means the string of the length minus 1, that time we will get the last value. So this is how we are going to do it. So for the concatenation, we simply use, while printing, we can simply use this operator. So that time it will be directly concatenated. So let us see it. So we have seen the logic of it. So let us move on to the compiler. So I am using C-line compiler here. So let us write the code. So as we can see, if you want, you can create a new file. So I have removed the code. So I'm going to write it. So first the header file, the hash include. So after that, bits slash standard C++.h. So while you are using this header file, it will include all of the header files that we needed. So you should be already comfortable with this template from the previous last video. If not, go back and watch the watermelon episode first. So I'll explain every line there in the detail. So now let's fill in the solution. So after that, namespace standard. After that, the main function return 0. So this is the basic structure of the C++. So if we want, we can also add 2 more lines. That is, we have to disable the sync with the standard IO file. So iOS base, after that 2 colons, and sync with studio will be false. So after that, C input with the tie will be null pointer. So this will boost up our program running time for a long inputs. So that's why we are given it. So this is the basic syntax of it. So if you are not comfortable with it, so go back to the previous video and see it, and come back and see this video. So let us see the program. So in this question, they have given one input, that is n, and n strings. So that means we can say it is a test cases. So for that, I'll declare one variable. So in n. So after that, I'll get n from the user. So C in n. So this will get the input from the user from the terminal and store it in the variable n. So after getting it, I'll use while n minus minus. So if you don't know what this is, let me explain it. So this is a very classic competitive programming trick. So it is worth learning early. So the n minus minus is nothing but post decrement operator. So here what happens is, so this while loop will check the current value of n, and if n is not 0, so it will enter the loop of the body. So if it, then after that it will decrement the n value by 1 minus 1. So if it repeats until the n reaches to the 0. So for example, if n is 4, the loop runs 4 times. So first n will become 4, it will run. N will become 3, it will run. N will become 2, it will run. N will become 1, it will run. When n becomes 0, the loop starts. So it can be equal to the value of a for loop, that is for int I is 0 and I less than n and I plus plus. So this while n minus minus is nothing but it is equal to the same this method of for loop. So we are going to use this while loop. So after that we are getting the input. So after that we have to get the string from the user. So for that, declare one string. So I declared one string and get it from the user. So I declared one string and get it from the user. So after that we have to check the length. So for finding the length, I am using one variable, that is int length. So after that, string name dot length, or else you can also use string dot size. So this also works perfectly, but I am using string dot length here. So after finding the length, we have to check if the length is greater than the value, that is 10 or not. So if it is greater than 10, we can change it according to what we want. So let us do that. So now if my length is less than or equals to 10, because it is strictly greater than 10. So if the word is 10 characters or shorter than that, So we'll print exactly as it is simple. So after that, let us just print it. So now I'll print cout the current string. After that, I'll give n line, or we can simply give /n. So that is nothing but it will redirect to the next line. So I'm using /n instead of end l here. Both print new line, but this /n is faster because n line is also flushes the output buffer. So that is an expensive operation. So for multiple outputs in a loop, so this /n is a better practice. So we have checked the condition. If it is less than 10, we will print the same string. So if it is not less than 10, so that time cout. So first we have to print the first character. So string of 0. So the 0 indexing. So after that, I'm using this operator to concatenate it. So the length of it. So for the length, string of string.length. So we have already stored in this variable, that is int length. So length minus 2. So after that, we have to add the last character. So string of length minus 1. So after doing it, I'll print the next line. So here, this is the first character and the size minus 2 and the last character. So first, let us see this first. This is the heart of the solution. So let us break down it from the start of this else case, that the string of 0 access the first character of the string. So as I said before, in C++, strings are also 0 indexed. So just like the arrays, so the index 0 is the first character. So the index 1 is the second character, and so on. So after that, this length minus 2. So this is the number of characters in between the first and last character. We wrap it in the parenthesis. So let us will not throw any errors for safety precautions. So it is just arithmetic. So if the words has 12 characters, it will print 10. So after that, the string of length minus 1. So this will access the last character, because the last index is always length minus 1 because of 0 indexing. So this gives us the final letter. So we'll chain all together with this operator on a single cout line. So the C++ will print them one after another with no spaces, which is exactly what we want. So for the localization, it should return the length as 12. So the value is L10N. So let us try it. So let us copy this test cases and paste it and check. We are getting the same output. See here, this is word. So we got word. After that, L10N for localization. So L10N. After that, I18N, I18N and P43S. So P43S. So we got the same output as we want. So now let us submit the solution. So for that, I'll copy this code. After copying it, I'll move on to the Codeforces. So in this page, as you can see, there are few tabs there. Problems, where the problem will be there. After that, this submit button. After that, the status and the standings and the custom test. In this custom test, you can write your code and test the code. So the standings is nothing but just like a leaderboard. So after that, the status, where your code is running or not, you can see that. If it is accepted, it will show accepted. If there are any errors, it will throw that error there. That if it have any errors like compilation error or some wrong test cases output like that, it will show there. So let us run it. So go to the submit tab. Before that, I log in. So now go to the submit tab. So after this page loading, so you will see like this. So if you are writing C++, just choose this. I am using GNU G++ 17 here. So after that, I'll paste my code here. So after pasting this code, just verify you are a human. So after it shows success here, just submit it. So it is being running on the test case. So as the verdict, you can see it is being accepted. So this problem taught us several things that will come up again and again. So the string type in C++, the string objects with powerful built-in functions like .length and .size. So which will give you the character count. So for the string of I, lets you access the character by the index. After that, the zero based indexing in C++, the first character is index 0. So this trip up a lot of beginners. So burned into in your memory now. So the while n++ pattern, that a compact and dynamic way to loop exactly n times. So you'll see this in almost every competitive programmer's code. So after that we have used slash n over the endl in loops because it will always prefer for the speed. So after that the string character access, that is the you are using with the square brackets there. Just like the arrays, you can access it in individual characters of a string. So after that the chaining the cout, that is nothing but concatenation. So while using this two less than simple, you can chain multiple values on a cout line and strings, integers, characters, and they will print consecutively with no separator. So these are the fundamental tools you will see almost every single program going on forward. So before you go, here's a small challenge. Try modifying the solution. Also print the original word in the parenthesis after the abbreviation. So instead of just L10n, print L10n, after that a curly braces or a parenthesis, within it the direct string. So it's a tiny change, but practicing small modifications helps you understand the code deeply rather than just copying it and pasting it. So drop your modified solution in the comment. So I'll read everyone. So on this Codeforces problem, way too long words completely solved and explained. We went from the reading the problem and building the logic. After that, understanding strings in C++ and tracing every test case all the way to green accepted verdict. So in the next video, we'll keep climbing and solve another one more problem. So if this helped you, smash that like button and hit subscribe and share this playlist with your friend who also learning competitive programming. So let's grow together.